I got my first period within the few hours of being baptized. It's Women's Day, and all my life I have witnessed, experienced, grieved, and felt compassion toward the pain of being a woman. To see the intricate beauties and the complexities of being her be abused, diminished of worth, shamed, misled, misunderstood, manipulated, silenced, reduced, abandoned, stripped of her own name, ruthless comparison, missing, killed, resulting in her, in me, a reservoir, originally intended for the fearfully and wonderfully made to discover and truly believe she is fearfully and wonderfully made, instead, a reservoir of white-hot rage, contradictory rage and silence, silence and violence, violence and the body of barren land. So I marvel at the women who in this climate still choose to be honest with themselves, to grieve in front of us, in front of men, who choose peace over violence in their daily lives, who choose to use the glimmers of warmth, to remember the good, to give it to others. You are warriors. I am a warrior because I stand in the fire burning, because you chose me to be a woman, so you are purifying my heart, my womb, to prepare me to carry the heavenly holy burden of your unparalleled design of the woman. I remember the businesswoman, the head of hospital, the one who worked in the police department, now in environmental sustainability, weeping at that large dinner table, reciting poems they've written on the fragility, high cost they've paid and continue to pay to be here, while the men sitting next to them work perhaps to provide for their families. These women do not have their own children to provide for. I remember when she stood up in front of them all and recited her poem of the difficulty of being a daughter of a father. She wrote when he had passed and spoke the words that needed to be said by me to my father. I remember my grandmother who closes herself off from the world, especially her family, in protecting of herself, for in her youth she was tied down to a bed for expressing her emotions, for she had lost her mother way too early on because of history. And I remember my mother, who is and always has been worthy of love, but perhaps in her story, love and survival were two separate things. And I remember how you promised your salvation, your son would come to us from a woman's womb. Perhaps you saved me before it all had happened, or grieved me, for you grieved Eve and gave her painful childbirth, painful periods, pain, my mother's endometriosis, and those lost children. Count my stories, God, for I am your warrior in the fire burning. We are your warriors. Amen.